This is the Business Experience Show, where we connect those who want to know more about digital marketing, social media, and business strategy with entrepreneurs who are succeeding in today's marketplace. Follow our blog, join our online network, or connect with us at thebusinessexperienceshow.com. And now, your host, Lisa Caprelli.
Welcome to the Business Experience Show. I'm Lisa Caprelli. With us is Brian Gapps, show producer. I want to share a quote with you by John Rockefeller, who says, "A friendship founded on business is better than a business founded on friendship." And with that, I'm welcoming Coach Bob Meinhard. He's been a good friend that I've met, and I welcome you for being with us and sharing your business experience, Bob.
Lisa, thanks for having me.
What's your business background prior to becoming a business coach?
You know, I've only been a coach for about 8 months. I just had my training last summer. Prior to that, I spent 31 years in corporate America. Most recently I worked for Cisco Systems and their Linksys division. Prior to that, I worked for a semiconductor company called Connexent Systems. So I have 31 years of varying roles in the corporate world. So being a coach is new for me, but I've been mentoring people for 30 plus years, so that's familiar.
And did you find mentoring being appreciated by the larger companies?
You know, that's kind of an interesting question, Brian. You know, I actually always felt like mentoring was kind of diminished and not really looked upon as being a skill that was really necessary to be a leader in business. So being a coach is really an opportunity to really be able to make a difference in that way. So.
And I love that you do come to us with a corporate background, because to me, a corporation has all its structures in place, employees, many of them, many systems. So you can actually work with a startup or an entrepreneur, and whether they have been an entrepreneur for 10 years plus, but you already have been in a system in a corporate world that works. Obviously, with corporations that are very successful.
Right, exactly. And having a varied background, having been in operations and finance and sales, you kind of get a flavor for how a business is supposed to run.
Right.
So that helps me in looking at someone who's an entrepreneur, small business owner. It's really helpful for me to be able to draw upon that experience to help them.
In a sense, it's kind of like you have the secrets or tricks to jumpstart them to a next level, instead of them, I see so many entrepreneurs and business owners that are trying to figure things out, or they're afraid to spend money here. Maybe they're spending too much money, and you're able to quickly look at them and say, well, based on my 31 years in the corporate world, this is what you should be doing, and you have examples that you can emulate.
Exactly. One of the things that's kind of interesting is I run across a lot of people that say, oh, you're a business coach. Mm-hmm. What are you going to teach me about running a restaurant? Or what are you going to teach me about, running my business? And right. I have to explain to them that really it's more about helping them with the business of their business. It's not so much becoming an expert in their area.
And as a business coach now, you come from the corporate world, but now you are an entrepreneur, and so you
right.
understand that side and those challenges as well.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I think that people who aren't open to coaching, Bob, they maybe think, oh, well, you're going to tell me what to do. I think it's sometimes hard to let go of that control. So what do you think are some of the misconceptions about what a business coach is?
Well, some people think that a business coach is kind of a magic bullet. It's sort of a magic pill that they can take that, hey, you're going to fix things for me in a week or a month or 3 months. And really, coaching is really intended more for people that are open-minded and actually can, see beyond their nose, if you will.
And it's also a bit about setting a strategy and executing a plan.
That's right. It's really about holding someone accountable. Some people are coachable, and I've found that some people are either very difficult to coach or almost uncoachable because they don't want to be held accountable. They kind of know that they should be doing something,
right,
and they just haven't quite gotten around to doing it, but they're still somewhat reluctant sometimes to say, hey, I'm going to open my business up to you and let you help me out.
And do you find certain personality types more open to coaching? Perhaps people that use fitness trainers or who have a lot of recertification in their field? Or
yes, those people tend to be more open. Absolutely. Someone who's very kind of a directive kind of personality, a lot of those folks have trouble with opening up and allowing themselves to be coached.
I noticed that among the networking events I attend in Southern California, there seems to be a large number of people who call themselves a coach. The market seems quite diluted, but I know that you have trained professionally with Brian Tracy and the Focal Point training method.
Right. So Focal Point is an established coaching organization. We get to use Brian Tracy's content, which is just awesome content. I mean, Brian Tracy is one of the world's renowned business gurus. And being able to use his content for the benefit of small business owners is just really an outstanding thing that we bring to the party.
What would you say are the top things you can do for businesses, Bob?
Well, actually, the first thing that we typically do is we give them clarity. We actually help them figure out, hey, what do they really want to do in their business? What makes them get up in the morning? Why are they doing what they do? So that's actually a fundamental thing that we do with everyone that we coach. And we find that people just need to,
I know that you have the top 5 needs that I remember when we met before. Tell us, to our listeners, about top 5 needs that people need to know about.
Well, the top 5 needs really relates to a business owner owning up and saying, hey, these are my top 5 needs in my business, and then we also typically look at the top 5 issues that they might have. So it's based on the top 5 needs for that individual business owner. It's always customized to what they need.
And I know you help with operations and marketing. And what are some of the other areas in which you would help? I would think time management is a big one.
Time management is a huge one. Looking at financials and actually examining them with an eye towards making improvements that's going to improve their bottom line.
How do you make someone comfortable to get to that step where they're going to show you their financials and they could be a mess, or they could, how do you get them comfortable?
Well, they have to trust you. I mean, really, if they don't like and trust you, then they are not going to be forthcoming with information like that.
So, right? It's part of your process. You're there to help them, and they need to be honest and open with you so you can help them. Okay,
exactly.
So I always ask my guests this question, success story. Give me an example of someone you helped recently.
Recently I worked with a leader in a small high-tech firm. She was having really big problems managing her people, and she just couldn't seem to find a way to motivate those people. I worked with her on gaining a better understanding of how people react to her leadership style, which was quite autocratic. She had what we would call in the DISC assessment world, she was kind of a high D kind of person, very kind of autocratic. By helping her change her approach, depending upon the kind of person she was dealing with, she gained huge new insights into how her people were wired and how they reacted to her and others. So really, I find that understanding and managing different behavioral styles is an important part of what we do as coaches. And part of my offering is to do behavioral assessments like a DISC, which is behavioral style assessment, and a sales skills index assessment to help them better understand what drives them and in their dealings.
And how did you get somebody who you describe as autocratic to embrace following advice of someone else?
I think fundamentally this person understood that they were not being 100% effective, so they just knew that they needed to do something else, and I built up a lot of trust with this person, and they found me an effective coach for them.
Well, I want to say and honor, hats off to that business person who did that, because I find as entrepreneur and leaders that, to me, the older you get, the more experience you get, is sometimes you have to take a step back and let someone else look at what you're not looking at. So maybe by what you're saying, maybe you sit in a business meeting and maybe they don't know that they're conducting themselves a certain way because they're in their business so much, they know it well, and
yes.
maybe the employees in the room are like, okay, this person is like really arrogant. They're not seeing our side of the coin. Do you find things like that?
Absolutely. That is so true. People don't understand when you say, hey, you're you're a high D. That's sort of like talking Greek to someone. What does that actually mean?
Right.
And when you go through an assessment and you actually sit down and go through it with them, I've seen people's kind of like a light bulb goes on, and they're like, wow, I didn't even realize that I was doing that.
Right, and they want to be a better person. I mean, as human beings, we want to be better people. And so I say to you, if you're an executive, a CEO, an owner of a company, sometimes, and you want to be a better person, it's going to make your organization way more successful.
Right.
And so having a business coach like you can greatly help your business go to the next level, help the employees you work with go to the very next level, and there's so much great opportunity that can come. So I like what you're doing.
Absolutely. And really we typically work with small business owners anywhere from, just really a solopreneur kind of situation up to businesses that have 40 or 50 employees. But it doesn't matter if you're in Anaheim or St. Charles. I mean, this can help you. This can help you.
And I could see it helping even multiple business partners. Maybe there's conflict going on, and they need somebody to go to.
Exactly. And I found sometimes one partner is more eager to get going with coaching, and the other one is maybe more reluctant, because typically they'll have maybe different behavioral styles. So that can create a challenge, but usually those are the kind of thing we can work through.
So give us our website so we can go to, so we can get a hold of you.
It's www.ocbizcoach.com, and that's ocbizcoach.com.
There you go.
Bob, how often and how long do people work with a business coach? Do you meet once a week? Do you set goals and they have to achieve them each week? How does that process work?
Brian, it actually varies a little bit, but for most clients, a weekly engagement is best. But we also work on a semi-monthly basis, twice a month, and the typical coaching engagement lasts anywhere from about, let's say, 8 to 10 months to 18 months, in that range.
So I see what your business is. It's like when you want to lose weight and you need to hire a personal trainer to see results. And so someone hires you because they want to take their business to the next level.
It's exactly right. It's all about being held accountable and being willing to be held accountable. People who are open to that can have a very successful coaching engagement.
I read a little bit about what you talk about with the power principles, so let's talk about one of them.
Okay. One of those that I really like to talk about is called 3 Eyes of the Business Owner. And 3 Eyes of the Business Owner is something that it comes to us from Gerber. He's actually the guy that came up with it. And being an entrepreneur or a business owner, you actually have 3 ways of looking at your business: the entrepreneurial view, the manager view, and the technician view. The entrepreneur's view is looking forward and looking ahead. And we find that business owners, after they've been in business for a little while, sometimes will take their eye off the ball, looking at their business that way. Then the second eye of the business owner is as a manager. And a manager really is looking backwards. They're looking at performance that's already happened. So they're managing people and basing decisions that they make on the past. And the third eye is the eye of the technician, and that is a person who's so wound up in their business that they can't work on their business. So what we do as coaches, Lisa, is try to get people to step back just for a second and realize that they need to be thinking as an entrepreneur a big chunk of the time. They really should be in that role 80% of the time and spending much less time being a technician.
And so that allows somebody to actually be in their business, and you're, in a sense, holding their hand. So what have you seen someone go from week 1 to week 4 to week 6? How is that exciting for you to see someone's progression?
It is. It really is exciting. I mean, it's just really a lot of fun to see people respond and actually start, people start saying, I get it. I kind of get what you're talking about, and I didn't realize what was out there for me. So, yeah, it's really gratifying.
Who is your ideal client that you're looking to help?
Well, the ideal client is a business owner who has a dream that they haven't achieved yet, okay? And they're kind of confused or a little bit bewildered about how they're going to achieve that dream. So the business owner typically starts out with a dream, and then maybe they lose that dream. So what I like to do is help them kind of recapture that kind of recapture what made them get into business in the first place.
Bob, your background in technology certainly lends itself toward you being comfortable working in that industry, but having the technology background and some others that you said, finance and lots of other areas, certainly can't hurt in dealing with nearly any industry today. I imagine you have clients in many industries.
Right. I mean, several industries. People from attorneys to CPAs, even to an image consultant that I worked with a little while back. So it can be almost any kind of business.
A builder and a writer, I think.
A builder, exactly.
Well, thanks for being with us, Bob.
Lisa, it has been great. I have really enjoyed the time.
Yes,
Thanks very much.
And I want to say Bob is really good at networking, too, and the power of networking if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, I'm not going to discount it. So for more information about Bob, go to ocbizcoach.com, or you can reach us on our show's website, thebusinessexperienceshow.com. I'm Lisa Caprelli, Brian Gapps. You're listening to thebusinessexperienceshow.com on Angels Radio AM 830 KLAA.
Great nights of dinner theater are closer than you think. Formerly located in Newport Beach, Tibby's is now producing fabulous musicals and concerts at the beautifully renovated Fontana Theater. Enjoy a fun night out in the downtown Fontana Arts District with plenty of free parking. Go to centerstagefontana.com for more information and visit those high-flying days of Frank, Dean, and Sammy with Blue Eyes and his buddies running through June 9. For more details and to purchase tickets, go to centerstagefontana.com.
ZulaSearch.com is a comprehensive business directory that helps your business get noticed. And best of all, it is completely free. All you have to do is simply create a business profile to start getting found in any language. Our servers update content to the major search engines every hour of the day to get your business found. ZOOLA Search. It's fast, it's free, it works. The free business directory. Create your profile today.